the 2025 Promiscuous Men of the Night Fantasy Football Week number 8 update. If you haven't watched the first 7 weeks, you can't find them anywhere because we didn't do them. This week was highlighted by some buffoonery, mostly by me, but a lot of interesting matchups this week. So we had Andrew Gallock beating me in just a terrible matchup, frankly, on my part. Really, Christian McCaffrey carried that team easily. We had Luke Corvello marching forward to a 5-2 record, beating out Rocky in a very, very tight matchup, less than a point difference. I mean, just a single substitution would have been the difference there. Dzak ending up losing to Moses to break that 2-4 tied record between the two of them. Moses scoring, I think, a season high of 125 this week, carried by Quinton Judkins, who decided to show up after beating his family. We have Mitch getting his third win of the year, really cementing Luke into an 0-7 record. I really thought Luke had a chance this week, but his team continues to prove me wrong, and Chase Brown continues to disappoint Luke like we all thought he would. Avila moves forward to a 7-0 record. As we all expected, naturally, Daniel Jones was obviously the quarterback of the future, along with Jonathan Taylor, who doesn't love a JT, Amon-Ra St. Brown, amongst others. And then lastly, Ciro moves down to a 3-4 record, losing to a surprisingly poor effort from Ciro to lose against Ron, really tailing out the lowest score of the week. This week's breakdown is going to be brought to you by fucking nobody, because we're not sponsored yet. But here we have Avila, who is our 7-0 league leader right now. Avila, do you have any words to say to the people?
It's good to be 7-0. Good to be 7-0.
Were you expecting Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray to be the obvious choices for quarterback for you? And were you specifically expecting Daniel Jones to really win that starting job?
Well, Daniel Jones was a pickup. Let me see. When did I pick him up? I picked him up on September 8th when I dropped Dak Prescott, I think.
Ah,
I drafted Dak. He had a terrible week 1 and then has gone off since. So either way, my team was going to be great.
how does it feel to know that you could have scored like 170 points this week if you decided to start Devontae Smith instead of Kashan Butte?
That was a last minute change. Um, Smith has not been playing well, so I just felt like against Murphy, who had a pretty strong week, I needed the more reliable touchdown. Booty had 2 last week, so I went with him again. Booty still had a good week, but definitely could have used Devontae in there. Hopefully, he does the same this week, because this week my team is set. I have 5 players on bye this week.
That seems ideal for everybody to make sure that we can put a small dent into your record. So actually, that's a good segue into our next part, where we're looking into next week's matchups. We have me playing against Murphy. Hopefully, I can fucking win against a 1-6 Sacco team. We have Ciro playing off against Corvello. Ciro trying to save his season. Corvello trying to continue to cement himself in the top part of the league. Moses and Andrew Gowanlock facing off. Andrew continuing to push to that top bracket, but as of right now, it's going to be a tight matchup in projections. But obviously, it's only Tuesday, and everybody's waivers are still going through. Dzak playing against Luke Lopez. As of right now, Lopez looks like he has a chance at maybe winning, but maybe substitutions still need to be made to suggest who might be a good matchup there. Rocky and Avila matching up with the Avila pushing for that 8-0 record, and then we have Ron playing against Mitch, and that will round out our week 8. Um, do you have any major wild upsets you want to predict for this week, Avila?
I'm just looking at your matchup, Teets, so I'm just wondering, what are you going to do at tight end?
I'm going
Because
to
obviously you
continue
messed
to
that up last
be,
week.
yeah.
I mean, you have no shot at Brock Powers playing this week,
Oh
so
yeah, no,
you've
I'm going
got
to
nobody
continue
on the
to shoot
bench to
myself on the
start.
foot and just continue to hold on to unnecessary wide receivers for no good reason at all.
I
That's
mean, to be fair, last week your bench did do very well.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
they
gonna go
did
back
great.
and look at it.
Yeah,
Your
I mean,
bench,
I should have had
you
Jordan
had
Addison start.
27.9 from Justin Herbert. You had Addison for 128 yards and 17.5 points. Quinn Johnston with 10 points himself. Marks with 11 points. You got all these guys sitting on the bench, and you're still losing.
Yeah, I'm really good at losing in ways that I should be winning. So it just really speaks to the Longhorn mentality that I maintain. Yeah, do you want to call out anybody to be the guest next week?
I mean, there's three-time champion Luke, who's obviously doing well. I think he'd be a good person to talk to. Murphy clearly is dying, so it'd be nice to hear his thoughts on the season. That was probably the two I would suggest.
All right. Well, I will run it by him, and we'll see if we can't get fantasy football guru Corvello or less than fantasy football guru Kevin Murphy in on this chat for next week. Thank you for joining, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.